It's Wednesday, my dudes, and tonight our guest is a diorama maker whose creativity knows no limits. Bending reality and foam to his very will, he has created pieces of incredible scale. But, just like Master Yoda taught us, size matters not. It is the attention to detail that that truly brings his art pieces to life. He's known as the Dio King, the customs guy, and he's turning your dreams into a reality. I pulled this right from his bio. I didn't make this up. Please welcome Duarte Studios to the show, and we'll chat with him about his newest pieces, techniques he's developed, tips for getting started, and how in the world he expects everybody to transport these massive dios. It's all happening right now on Between Two Sentinels. Machu, cue the intro. I did it perfectly in rehearsal.
You're making these a lot longer each episode.
Gotta challenge myself, you know. I gotta do stuff. It's gotta mimic the quality and size of the personality we're bringing on, you know.
I mean, yeah. You're right.
I think I'm spritzing. I broke a sweat there trying to get into
I saw.
Yeah. So
you want to check your blood pressure too? I mean,
all right, everybody. I'll see you. See you next one. It is Wednesday, my dudes, and we are on episode 61, 62. I don't know where we are. Of Between Two Sentinels.
It's 62.
It's 62. It's fine. It's fine. It's math.
Right.
We don't do math. We didn't get into toys for math. But yeah, I of course am a J Shot, and this show is brought to you by you because you guys keep showing up and we keep doing it. So you know that's how it works. But with me, as always, is the one and only Machu Toy. How you doing, Machu?
I'm good. Look, it says 62 now on the top.
Hey, look at that.
Magic
fix. It's like magic.
There you go. Good.
So you had an exciting week.
Yeah. A little exciting. You were missed at ZoloCon. Everybody was asking where you were.
That. Yeah, right? I definitely had the FOMO. So
I said I ditched him for some new guys to hang with.
Yeah.
The con. No. I said you were with your family.
Yeah.
And, so, yeah. But like everybody kept asking me, "Where's J Shot? Where's J Shot?" And I'm like,
because when I'm there and you're not, it's always where's Machu. So I guess we really are a pair. That's nice to know. So, but yeah, man, it looked like a rousing good time. I mean that space is really cool. We got to see that last year, or I got to see it last year. So, it looked like it had a pretty good turnout. I was watching Art G stream the other night. He was going through some of the stuff he picked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, would you pick up anything noteworthy?
I picked up a bunch of the bag's all the way over there. I picked up a bunch of Action Force figures from Valaverse, and then
nice.
What else did I pick up? We ran into the guys from the Show and Tell podcast on the way back.
Oh.
We stopped at a char because we were like, oh god, we're so hungry, and there was like a long strip of nowhere to eat. And then finally, I'm looking at the map and I'm like, there should be a char like right here. So we pulled up and we walk in, and they're about to leave. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
It's like what happened last time with Henrock, except we forced him to stay and kidnapped him at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I did get something else.
Oh, what'd you get?
From ZoloCon. It just arrived today. So after our episode with Plastic Action, I went and bought myself a stop motion rig.
Oh, very nice. Which one did you get?
It's still in the box. It's one of the winders. So
very cool.
The 2-axis winder. Still in the box. I haven't opened it. I was going to open it after the show to mess around with it. I didn't want to have something else on my desk to give me anxiety because there's so many things on my desk still.
Yeah, so many things on your desk, and we got a special thing to show off that ties directly to our guest. But it looks like we got a lot of people tuning in tonight. So should we maybe check in with the chat, see what's going on?
Check in with the chat really quick, and then we'll bring in our guest because I know he's getting antsy.
He might fall asleep. NYC Figure Fanatic dropping that 5 p.m. like. Dom is finally back live with us. Paul Morales says, hello, everybody. And Toy Ratatsu hitting us with the...
Subnights.
It was a weird one. Tenyo Toys is here. Toy Chase is checking in for the Toy Mayor Patrol. What's up, my peeps? We've got No Chewing. He's here. Of course, him, Toy Father, and Yimbo Reviews Everything will be going live at 8:45 for the TPC Top 10. I think they have a guest tonight. And that guest is
No. They don't.
No guest.
No.
Sorry.
No. You weren't paying attention to what I was telling you.
Shh, quiet. No guest. It's a surprise. I don't know what's going on. Don't listen to me. Obi-Wan Shingonis is here saying, yes, I'm here for my weekly Yoko fix, please. Yeah.
Wrong show.
Stay tuned. She'll be here. Maybe. Maybe. Des Refan? I need it. He's here. They're here. Not gonna assume. Who else we got? We got Man at Beast Boy saying what I do. Agent Variant is here. He the other half
was of
the Show and Tell podcast at Zolo Comment you mentioned. They were up to what, episode 3? Yeah, so be sure to check them out. Messy Photography saying hello, everybody. Frankie saying greetings all the way from New Zealand. We are officially international, Mr. 305. I don't know what's going on. What is happening here? We've already lost the feed. Kai the Collector saying, what's up, fellas? And I think that's everybody.
We're all cut up.
Did I miss anybody?
I think you're good.
You're saying a worthy addiction to toyetic. Worthy addiction to toyetic. Collector will be there tonight. Got you. Okay.
Did you get Toy Migos? You got Toy Migos, right?
Did I get? I don't know.
I don't think you got Toy Migos because I don't remember.
Toy Migos hitting us with the J's hot. And the where's Mario? Is Mario lurking somewhere? He should just hit us with a macho, which ties very nicely into our guest. But before we get into that, we do want to make sure that you guys are hitting up the chat and interacting. Any questions you have, please send them our way. And we do have the. Oh no! Did I start something? I don't want to start anything. I don't want to start anything. You know me. I'm just. There it is. He's here. He's lurking per usual. But we do have those super hats, which are never expected but always appreciated. If you do want to make sure we get to your comments as the night goes on. What else? Anything else?
I think that needs to be added to the fictional super hat that we have. We have to put that on the side.
Well,
never expected, but always appreciated.
Always appreciated. Yeah.
Yep.
And we got a late entry here. We got Go Figure Go saying hello, everybody.
He was there. He was at DoloCon.
He was. He texted me and said he was there. And of course, the age-old question: we doing Wayne this weekend?
I don't know. Are you available this time?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll talk out.
Okay.
No super hats for forgetting me. Damn it! I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'll hit you up with a super hat on They're Not Dolls tomorrow. So, all right, enough stalling. Let's bring in the man who's going to make all our dreams come true. Let's welcome Duarte Studios to the house. What's going on, Brian? You're muted, man.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You muted me.
I know. Dude, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's a long time coming, but we are so excited to have you here. And you went to ZoloCon. How was your experience?
It was good. I mean, considering I drove, because that's probably the second least favorite thing I have to do.
Oh, I know. But when you offered.
You were like, I'm down. No, it was good. The trip actually went pretty quick because I didn't listen to any music. And normally I got to listen to music in order to let the time go by quick, but we didn't listen to any music. We were just chit-chatting about stuff, figures, ideas, dials, things like that. And then we got there and it was cool. Met a lot of new people, put a lot of faces to the names to the faces. And picked up like everything Vala had for sale. I had to get that whole series 4.
That was a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, I was hoping for some SHF DBZ, but like nobody had nothing.
Nobody. I didn't see any.
Weird. It was weird.
I didn't see any.
Did Vala have the what is the attack car? What is it? What
the Vanguard?
Yeah,
the Vanguard. Yeah,
both of them. Yep, the tan and the gray one. Yep.
How'd that look?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
It's really good.
Very cool.
I don't know if I'm more excited about the truck or the figure it comes with, because it's a pretty dope figure too.
What's special about the figure?
Nothing special other than it's like made specifically for it, but I just like the design, the head sculpt and everything that comes with it.
Doesn't it have that added neck articulation?
I think. Believe so. Maybe. Don't quote me.
I think. I don't know. That's what I remember from seeing from one of the posts. But
obviously, this is now the second comment we've got about this. We're gonna have to call it out. Toy Rensu says, "I've seen enough hentai to know what that Dio is going." So
the human Kraken.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What is happening behind you, man?
This guy.
Yeah, you know.
The Mezco monster. Yeah, so for those of you who have the mech, the void mech that was released 6 months ago, 7 months ago, something like that.
I think so. Like
last year at some point. Yeah. That one. It came with the magazine, and on the magazine on page 15, you'll notice this huge thing. And I wanted to make a Dio to go with the void mech because I liked it so much. And I was like, I got to do something other than pose it. So that's why that arm right there, the big loop here, that's big enough to fit the mech inside and actually hold it. And each of the arms comes off via a magnet, and it has like a little gear, so you can actually adjust like the posability basically of the arms, or swap sides, or mix and match basically. And then another thing that I did too, you'll notice that like it has a throat. So in the cartoon, it's just a drawing, and normally you would like maybe sculpt a little and then paint it. But what I wanted to do is I hate wasting space. So since I had all that space, I actually dug that out and I sculpted a whole throat, and I'll put like these little gnarly spikes in there because I wanted to make that so you can actually stick the action figure inside and pose it either coming out of the mouth or getting swallowed. So you have that as a photographer, you have more options, right? So, the only thing that popped into my head that wasn't like an actual building, because I can do buildings, but I wanted to kind of do something different. And this thing popped in, and I scaled it based off of the comic to the mech itself. And I was like, well, you know what? It'll be about 5 foot wingspan, about 4 foot tall. But if I break it down like this, and it'll work. And now I'm super excited to finish it because we're planning on doing this like space kind of fight scene, and the different mechs flying and being held. And that arm right there is big enough to hold like standard figures 2-3 at a time. So all of them actually have metal rods and supports inside to hold the weight. And I wanted to make it a functional Dio, right? Not just like aesthetically pleasing, but options, transportation wise, breaking it down is a lot easier doing it this way versus trying to fit this into a minivan. You probably get pulled over.
You put that thing on your head as you drive, and just nobody will bother you.
Absolutely.
So wait, okay, so like about 15 minutes ago when you started, you said that that one arm can hold. No, I'm kidding, dude, man. Come on. And I would have let you go for another 15 minutes because it was amazing. You said that arm could hold the mech. How heavy is the mech? I don't have it, so I don't know.
10 pounds, 10-ish pounds.
Wow. So what's supporting it?
What, inside there? Inside the arm? So think of the arm as a sandwich, right? Think of like the two halves where it meets together and makes the cone shape. So think of it as two pieces. And then what I did was I actually got threaded rod. You would have thought to use like a 1/4-inch steel rod, but the reason I went threaded is because when you thread it, once you put it into the foam, it's less likelihood of it trying to travel or slide on that foam. It'll grip to it and also help with the gluing. So essentially, inside of the arms, I have the exact same skeletal shape, but in metal, and it follows it all the way down into the coupler where it, attaches and it gets glued. And then I glue the two halves together and basically start sanding it, sculpting it, and, doing the rest of the work.
Jeez. That's nuts.
Yeah. And he showed me how it holds it. It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
I posted some pictures too on Instagram of it holding up the mech.
Wow. That's crazy. And, I mean, the chat's going nuts just on the size, but I think somebody, let's see, Find My Figure says it's beautiful and it's articulated. You said even that you could swap the arms eventually.
Oh yeah. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Shit. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Go. What's up, Matt? Your nice finally. Oh, Articulated Ninja Reviews. How'd that go?
Oh, that was cool. He was really cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Super nice guy. Yeah.
Very cool. Jeez.
Look at that.
So basically, that's the gear I designed, and then it has a magnet on the inside that attaches to the reverse coupler.
Right, I think this is the whole show, by the way. We're just going to do this. We're just going to sit here.
And
this
then,
is amazing.
I want to put it here, and maybe I want to turn the arm.
He's fighting the magnet too.
He's fighting the magnet
it's,
and the Medusa. Oh. Wow. All right. So while you're working on putting those on, how long has it taken you from, concept, I guess, to where you are now?
You said something about how long did it take me?
From concept.
Yeah. So
to where you are now, yeah.
I thought about it on a Thursday night. By Sunday morning, I already had the entire head sculpted out and started to wrap with the cloth. And then the tentacles, I didn't do them until like maybe 2 months later, but I'm sorry, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, but that's because I was waiting for the 2-inch to come back in stock because I didn't want to keep doing a bunch of layers and then having to sand those. I wanted it to be just 2 halves because the thickest part would be 4 inches anyways. Yeah. So that came back in stock 2 weeks later. So I sculpted the arms, cut them, glued them, all on a weekend, basically. So realistically, a week's worth of work is into this right now, like a full week. But my weeks they start around 11 a.m. and I won't go to sleep until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And I stop maybe in total an hour between lunch, dinner, and maybe about an hour, give or take, with my daughter, depending on what her schedule is like that day. So yeah, pretty much I'm working a solid 18 hours a day, basically.
Yeah,
every day.
Every time I'm talking to you, you're always working on something. I was like, do you ever sleep?
When I die.
It's funny me asking, do you ever sleep? Because I'm usually
I was texting you pretty late last night.
Yeah.
My, how the turntables. Tom says I'd be out of breath just assembling it. I gotta agree with you, John. I would also just be out of breath. Tenyo is commenting on the squeak sound is so right.
And it's very like, it feels so good when it just does the little and it locks in place. You're just like, oh man, it's like solid,
Oh. And Toy Chase is now naming you the Picasso of Diorama, so another name to add to your bio.
That's actually funny because Picasso happens to be my favorite artist, and I don't really tell people that. So awesome.
The mayor knows all. All right, so I mean, you don't just come out of the gate with that, right? Like, where did you start, man? Like, what was the? I know you kind of started with doing Funko customs. When was the switch over to Dios and why?
So Dios have always been a part of my life ever since I was a kid because my father, when I was maybe 5 or 6, he introduced me to the HO train sets, and this was like the Santa Fe set back in the day from Toys R Us that was like $100, and we're talking back in like the 80s, right? So he bought this thing, and I love trains, but he liked them even more, so much so that he would keep me from playing with them because he didn't want me to destroy them. Yeah. Inevitably, I ended up destroying them, but that always stuck in my head and, playing with them with that stuff. And then one time, I think I was maybe 16, 17. And, I had some money. I was already like working for myself and stuff in high school and making all sorts of like side projects and painting sneakers and boots and all that. So when I was like, man, it's Father's Day, I want to get him something nice, but what the hell do I get this guy? What does he need? He doesn't need anything. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy him a train set. So I went and I bought the train set and I got it. And that was the first time I ever seen my father as a grown man tear up, bro. Like I hit the string and I was like, yeah, perfect. So then like I went nuts. I like took pictures of the outside of the house. I scaled it down. I made our house from scratch. I, started doing all this scenery stuff. And that's when I really was like, man, this is like, it feels natural, right? Like it's actually really fun and therapeutic because before that, I was the kid who kept the refrigerator box. When my mom got the new fridge, I kept the box in the kitchen so I can cut like a door and a window, and that was like my clubhouse, and we're pretend soldiering and stuff. And when it's time to throw it out, you're like, yeah, WWF, and you elbow stuff and you're throwing yourself on things, and like that was my jam. And then like when I got those really nice boxes, I would like put them together and I would make like Spawn, right? Spawn is my all-time favorite character, period. And I made an entire Spawn alleyway based off of the HBO series. out of cardboard,
I
right?
love that.
Because I didn't know what XPS foam was back then, like in the
Yeah,
90s, right? So that whole Dio world making thing always stuck with me, right? Especially with GI Joe play sets, you know, like, man, I want a USS flag in 12 scale, like, you know, things like that. But now I'm like, well, I can create them, and I'm sure other people out there would like to have them too. So, you know, that's kind of where it all started with that. And then now it's just, I went from the Funko, which I still do the custom Funkos occasionally, but the real love from doing all this mixed media between tattooing, airbrushing cars and bikes, murals, graffiti, like I love it all, but like my real like love is world building, whether it's 12 scale, 187 scale, 110, 16 scale, whatever. Like it's just creating those worlds or making people's visions come to life, right? That's my jam.
That was way too much math towards the end there. Just too many scales, too many numbers, too many numbers.
It's not for you. It's not for you.
It's not. No, it's not. Math is not for me. My last math class, I got a D for done. Talking about the world building, right? I mean, that's something we've talked about before, and you know, something that as you know, photographers, you create in this little scene. I gotta ask, man, like when you have something that big, you know, what do you put around it? Like when, you know, what do you like do to create that space?
So normally I go, because of the train, you know, way of thinking, I have to sometimes pull myself off of that, because in the train world, you know, you have this building that's true to scale. And then if you have a house, that house is true to scale a block away in that scale, right? So, but in 1/12 scale, a house can be 8 foot by 8 foot in 1/12 scale, you know, and then the next house would be 10 feet away. And who has a dial room that's 100 by 100, right? We all wish. So I started playing with, you know, just angles and like 2D, kind of like what we're going to see tonight, where it's like 2D into 3D, almost based off of like lithography type of thing, right? Where you know, certain lights or certain angles hit it and it gives you that feel that you got all this distance, but in reality, it's a few millimeters or half an inch. So a lot of that stuff also has to do with, maybe you want that one foreground building that has full interior, full exterior, but then you want some background ones. Maybe those will just be a flat wall in the front because you don't need that dimension, right? So, you know, playing with distance. Also the real estate, that's the biggest thing. The minute someone says, hey, I have an idea for a dio, I want to build, you know, this, that, and the third, my first question is, how much real estate do we have? Because I need to be able to tell you that's realistic, what you want to do, or you're trying to fit 16 pounds of, you know, stuff in a 2-pound bag. So, you know, and then I kind of just give my ideas. Very rarely do I come back and say, yeah, I can't do that, like, because it's impossible or because I don't want to. I'll tell you why I can't do a certain thing, but then I'll also give you 2 or 3 variations as to how I would do it to get that final result.
Damn. It's
Let it
it's like,
sink in. Let it sink
you know, like,
Yeah.
well, you're talking about the scale, right? And I mean, that's something we talked about before, where it's perspective and making it all making it all fit, and then giving it depth, and that depth creates a, you know, another aspect of it. So it's I always find it fascinating whenever we talk to people, whether they're dio makers, photographers, whatever, like just hearing how everybody's brain works differently to achieve the same goal, right? Like that's just something that just truly fascinates me, and you know, like to hear you talk about it, you know, and hear your passion for it, like it's I'll drop the first F-bomb. It's fucking impressive. Like it's fucking impressive. Yeah, dude, my mind was blown there. So I was
awesome.
done. Dom says, when I was young, my mom sold Avon. We used to make tons of stuff from all the cardboard boxes she had.
I'm familiar with that Avon cardboard.
Did your mom ever get the big Cadillac, Dom? Was she? You know,
oh yeah, right.
So, and Agent Variant, who's talked about dials before and making pieces, you know, saying it can be incredibly addictive, but
very
so
much so.
satisfying. Cool. You dropped a little like you know, teaser that I feel like we could easily segue into, unless we want to talk about something else. But I think you know, I'm excited to see it. I still haven't seen it in person, but you created something pretty special here. And Matt was giving me a little bit of a breakdown earlier, and I'm excited to hear you break it down. But yeah, let's. Matt, you ready? Should we make you big screen and do the review?
I feel like the pressure's on me now that I
Oh,
can't.
it is. It is.
All right, I'm ready.
Pressure. Okay.
Hurry up, he's ready.
Dang! Dude, this is nuts.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Literally looks.
It's like straight
Let's
out
go. It literally looks like it's ripped right out of right out of my TV. When I was, jeez, look at that.
I can quit then because that's the exact response I was going for.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's probably the best compliment you can give
Diorama.
somebody when you're doing like something that has reference, right? Because
Yeah,
one of the things with this is like we've all played the game, right? And like we know it's super pixelated. It doesn't look super fancy. So pixelation doesn't translate very well. It becomes a blur when you're bringing it up this big. So the challenge is keeping that stylized look while giving you that depth appearance without taking away that space, because you might be a diorama collector or you might be someone that doesn't have space at all for it. But now you have, a way that you can separate the things and put it away and all that good stuff. So that was the challenging part. But I think we're on to something.
Yeah, no, you're definitely onto something for sure. It's interesting that you bring out the pixel piece, because like there is somewhat of a hesitation, right, to say like, oh man, it looks like you ripped it right out of my TV, because it doesn't have that, right? It's like you made it for if it was made now to fit a 4K TV, right? Like that's where the detail is and that's where the look is, but still capturing, the the nostalgia of what the piece is. Now, what Matt was telling me that I didn't know is it's a bit of a mixed medium here, right? It's not just
So me 10 years ago would have said, I'm going to make this entire thing from scratch. I'm going to probably use styrene and a mix of like foam and the hot wire techniques and razor edge and all that good stuff. And people would have liked it. But essentially I would have spent 100 hours hand carving these little, tiles and these little details and lines and all that stuff. So that obviously translates to more time, more money. And ultimately, I want to try to do like what Jada was doing, right? Where they're giving us these quality figures at a really good, affordable price. So I wanted to kind of keep this realistic as far as, having that custom dial where it's hand painted still. It's, my artwork, my application, my hand carvings on the floors and things like that, but trying to keep, the cost down as well. So that's pretty much why I came up with this, where, that background is hand painted, everything, the brushwork, everything's all hand done. The pieces, the 3D pieces themselves, that's all designed and printed. It takes about 21 and a half hours, let's say 22 hours to print all those pieces. And then I still have to do some cleaning and obviously the painting on them. The floor itself is completely hand carved. That's the same basically wood style grain that's in the game, but I sit there and actually carve each individual line on its own. So you actually see the handcrafting in it and you get that value too. Cause I feel like having all those depths between the floor, the backdrop, all those accessories, it really adds to the photo and to the depth and really makes it look like it came out of the game.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. And, hearing how you went into the detail on each piece, but again, like the mixed medium aspect of it, right? Where it's like, it's hand carved pieces of it, but it's also 3D printed. And the chat just absolutely going nuts over this, man. And Dom talks about the shadowing on it too, right? So that's what we talked about, the attention to detail that, really just brings it to life. Age of Variance is really nice work. He was lucky to see it at ZoloCon. Frankie hitting us with the damn, that's red.
I appreciate it, guys.
Brownie Jacob saying, man, such beautiful work. And Toy Chase giving you nothing but love. Can't wait to show off mine. So when I first saw it, right, I didn't realize that the pieces were kind of placed on top of each other and give it depth. Do you get the ability, if you wanted to separate them, or they're
so on the website, I basically, the finished piece would be that whole backdrop glued to the background itself, or those foreground pieces glued to the background, and then the floor would separate via magnets, so like an L would come off. But if you're a photographer who likes to try to do like the parallax effect, or you want to distance things, or whatever the case may be, you can literally just message me after you place the order and tell me, hey, I'm such and such, here's my order number. can you give me the pieces separately? So this way they can mount them however they can use them for other, diorama work. It's not necessarily a Street Fighter, because it does have that Asian aspect to it. So we can go with a lot of other lines. I'm totally cool with doing that. I just don't do it from the rip, because most people want it like finished as it is, and also too for the purpose of the shipping and all that good stuff. But if they request it, absolutely.
Yeah. Here, I was able to pull up, because you mentioned the website, so I'm going to pull that up. We'll give Matt a little bit of a break from his Vanna Whiting, doing his best Vanna White here. So
it's good.
You get those hands.
I was trying to give it like the angles so that way you can see that it's like 3D printed.
Doing great, buddy. If this, if this toy photography thing doesn't work out for you, you can definitely
Vanna Whiting, right? Just got
Vanna Whiting. I just made a
I
new.
I don't want to just hang this
on the wall. You got like a wall piece, right? Wouldn't it be cool if there was like the rest of them too to go with it, and just all next to each other?
Oh my god!
Yeah, really,
it would be really cool.
Wait a second! Look at this. It's a variation. My goodness.
So you got options.
You do.
You got incredible options. Never mind just the two different colors, but what you just said too, right? Like having the ability to have it separated or, all stuck together.
I think Machu got a little something that can show off the differences in the dioramas.
Oh, do you want me to get it back out of the website here?
It don't matter. No, you could show the site, and this way, if anyone has any questions or whatever, most of the information is on there. But these are all basically made to order, because all the handmade ones are obviously going to be handmade, individually labeled, a little certificate signed, the whole deal. And then once the window closes on the 15th of March, I'll announce how many were made. So this way you guys know, like, it's one of 30 or one of 20, so if we get 50 orders, I'll make 50. If I get 10 orders, I'll make 10. If I get one order, I'll keep it for myself and make another,
I have a suspicion you're going to be very busy.
Awesome. I like working.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to get in trouble when I'm not working. Is that weird?
Yeah. No, I get that. Yep.
All the time.
I get that. My mother used to say that. She goes, I'm dangerous when I'm bored. All right,
I got to put the link in the chat so that way people can see it. Because I also have it in the description, but for ease.
For ease
of use. Now I got to go into YouTube and pin it.
All right, you do that, and we'll pull up some more amazing comments here. Cal the Collector, you nailed it. You nailed it dead on amazing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Matt was explaining it when it was dropped off. When he dropped off mine. Wait, so Tanya, you got one too already?
No, she got a nice little custom one.
Oh, okay.
Can't wait to see the picture she puts out with that.
Yeah.
My picture stuck. So
articulated ninja reviews right out of the game. Fire. Disavow just joining us and confused, trying to figure out what's going on with this amazing heat that we're dropping. We got Disavow then says, saw this in person this weekend. Absolutely amazing. Damn, the FOMO just keeps hitting. The layering is artwork in and of itself, and for toy photographers, it's functional too.
Awesome.
Let's see. And Toy Migo saying folks in the Jada as Street Fighter Facebook group are gonna love this. That's true, man. You might be getting 50 orders just from that group alone. So,
hey, listen, I will take
it. Everybody get your questions in tonight, because I don't think we're gonna be seeing Brian for a little while. He's gonna be busy making all kinds of stuff.
You have to close the windows and board it up.
Just you're not coming out till they're done. So
I'm gonna have just a loop on the phone where it's like, please hold, your call is important.
Your call is very important to us. Yeah. Please hold.
Please hold for the next 2 weeks. Thanks.
So, all right. So just let's give everybody the information here, and I'll bring the website back up. The ordering window starts today, officially today.
It's officially open as of 38 minutes ago.
38 minutes ago. It launched with our episode. Funny how that works. And you have until March 15th to put your order in. And there, I didn't even realize this. There are other variations. You've got, the player 1 stage, the players 2 stage. You've got painted. with downloadable content. So I guess if you wanted to do some kind of diorama aspect on this,
so basically what I did was I knew that there were that particular one. So you get the full painted piece, whether it's the daylight version variant or the nighttime variant. The only difference is you'll get an email with the high res of my painted background and my painted floor ground. Obviously it won't be 3D, but for some people that might not be important. They might either want to print it out or just use the high res photo as their backdrop on their computer, and they only really care about those parts, and that's essentially what that is.
Okay, that's great. I mean, again, just the offering of different options so that everybody gets what they want.
Yep, and then that one is our unpainted DIY. You literally get all of the pieces there in black, the 4 separate pieces, and you go to town and do your best. You know,
do your best,
or hit me up and I'll try to guide you.
Just do your best. But yeah, you're going to be on hold for a while because Brian's going to be very busy. So, lockdown before J-Shot hits you up for 10%. Hey, man, everybody needs a manager.
You know, before you hit checkout. Before you hit checkout.
Right. Speaking of discount. Yeah.
Leave a tip right here.
Right.
That's it.
So between 2 Sentinels gets you, this is a real one though.
Off. Oh yeah,
$25 off, and just send it gets you free shipping. Is that what we're saying?
Sir. Yes, sir. It should bring it down to $250 shipped.
There you go, $250 shipped. Damn, man, like it's art. It's art, and it's $250, and you know, I'm not going to say that's not reasonable because then you know I can't buy 6 of them. We'll keep popping this up, and I think that we're gonna have some kind of post that we'll put up after the show. But yeah, man, and appreciate that, man, dude. Like, appreciate you launching this on our site and
absolutely,
you know, coming in. March 15th
is Toy Migo's birthday.
It's also my dad's birthday, believe it or not.
That's also my birthday.
Are you my dad? It's also your birthday?
Do you want me to be your dad?
It's not that kind of show.
I didn't say daddy. I said dad. There's a difference.
It's all right. Tanya wants to know: are you going to do a cherry blossom stage? Already asking for more. Stage. She got it before everybody else. And now
is there a Street Fighter with a cherry blossom stage? I don't remember.
I don't think from Street Fighter 2, but she was showing me like in one of the backgrounds that there was a cherry blossom stage.
I'd be down.
Sure.
I think I can do cherry blossom trees.
Mm-hmm. Always a custom. Yes. Yeah. He meant dead. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Lies.
That's right.
Lies.
78 points is in the house too. Dude, this is great, man. The Ides of March are upon you.
True.
Oh, man.
Julius Caesar.
Yeah. Dude, this looks so good. What's I mean, obviously the color, but like, you know, did one variation take longer than the other?
No, because they're essentially the same thing. It's just the different color, how it was with the player 1 versus player 2. So that's really the main difference. Is like the paint schematics, everything is exactly the same. Just the colors and the shades and the variations are, you know, obviously different. With the night one, I feel like the lighting shows off even more because there's a lot more darkness in the blues than there are in like the orange and the reds, right? So it feels more like it's lit up, but I feel like they both kind of do them service. So
I will say that when we walked in, like we didn't know about the nighttime one.
Surprise.
When it was me, Toy Chase, and Henrock, we walked in and he just surprised us with the nighttime one. We were like, oh my God, that's awesome. And like, we're all trying to decide. And I'm like, there's only one option here. And that's why you gotta get both.
You gotta get both.
Get both.
If you get both, you save $50 with our code.
There you go. I mean, come on.
$50 back in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
That's not math that works either. So, Macho, you talked about going over to see Brian at the studio. You and Henrock have been kind of swinging in, taking some pictures. First off, I think it's awesome. Like, it's a cool kind of way to get people to, you know, show off the work, but also get an opportunity to your point earlier, like real estate, right? To shoot pieces that they may not have real estate for,
right?
You know, and you were generous to offer us that when we met you at Legion's Con, and you know, for me, it felt like one of those, you know, yeah, sure, you can come to. No, I'm kidding. But you know, it was awesome, man. Like, just the fact that you even thought of that and invited everybody, and then, you know, then Machu and Henrock show up and make fire. So,
oh, dude, I love seeing it. You know, I understand where people come from when they're like, oh, I just like to sit there and watch you like paint or, you know, carve or whatever. It's the same thing with me with the watching them do photos and posing and all that stuff, because like I said, my pictures suck. And, people tell me their dios suck. So it's like, well, if my pictures suck and your dios suck, my dios are okay, your pictures are great. Let's get together and help each other out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I understood more so because the space, the budget too. I mean, let's be honest, if you're spending a lot of money on dios, like it could get pretty expensive, especially if you get bigger. So in my mind, I'm like, well, listen, I have, you know, grass, I have dirt, sand, mountains, trees, whatever. Like, let's set up a little world here, use my stuff, right? Like walk into the library, read all the books, and then put them back when you're done, and, you know, tell everybody about it, you know. And this way it helps build content too. You know, my stuff's sitting here collecting dust because I'm too busy carving it. Then I have to actually play with it and pose it. But when they come, it's like an excuse for me to, all right, stop cutting stuff and like take some pictures or some videos or do some posing or something, you know.
Yep.
So
just take a step back too, right? Appreciate it, right? Watch,
absolutely.
You know, you're creating your own version of art, and then, you know, someone like Machu or Henrock comes in and,
Yep,
you know, puts their spin on it, and it's just, you know,
yeah. And from my
it's just
perspective, it
ridiculous.
helps people out because, you know, I post the behind the scenes, and like Tim was also here too, and he did the behind the scenes. And like a lot of people don't understand that sometimes to get these really nice shots, not only is it like a $1 billion camera, but then it's like a gazillion-dollar lens, and then there's like 7,000 lights, you know, and like
it gets pretty hot.
A white paper and like a fan and a smoke machine, and like things get pretty pricey. So, you know, like, can you take nice pictures with your phone or just a camera? Absolutely. But when you really want to get those shots and that quickness and the lights and the temperature, like it's a lot of stuff that goes with. So when people see it, they're like, man, you did all that work for that one shot. Yep. Yes, they did.
And we came back and took more.
Yeah.
3 hours later.
Yeah. And in that time, he made 6 monsters. That wasn't the one I was going to say. Steve Moore wants to know, how do you spell? I think there's about 6 F's in the middle there.
He just did.
Yeah, I think he just did.
You got it.
Yep.
And Tenyo said your pictures do not suck.
Thank you.
And here it is, man. Here it is. Get, you know, I think you're gonna have to start working right after the stream. Toy Amigos just posted the images and links in the Jada's
Thank you.
Toy Story. Dude, I'm flabbergasted by everything. I've lost it.
Next time.
Next time. Toy Story.
Drop that heat, Machu. Drop that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's actually Machu. So I mean, you know, we haven't like talked about this in detail, but like I'm curious, you know, going somewhere like to Duarte Studios, or anywhere really, like you're taking yourself out of your environment, right? There's a certain comfort level that we have in our space, right? You know where everything is. You don't have to worry about knocking stuff over. Maybe that's just me. But like, how did that feel? Like did it take a little getting used to, or did you pretty much just like jumped right in and put your feet up?
It definitely takes a little getting used to. Also, like learning, like, because I'm not there just myself shooting at first. Henrock was also there, so it's like watching him do his work, and then him watching me do like how I take photos. It's like, and we bounce ideas off of each other, right? And I feel like, and I noticed that he is like a sponge absorbing like everything that I'm telling him. Like, oh yeah, you might want to change that a little bit, or like tweak this, or just get a piece of paper and bounce the light off so you can light one side of the face better, you know.
But that's a sign of somebody that wants to learn, you know.
Yeah, he definitely wants to learn, and he asks questions. That's the other thing I pick up is like, why do you do this?
Ask him a million questions.
No
gatekeeping. No gatekeeping.
Exactly. And like working with the space that we have, and then also like the equipment that's there. It's like now you got to think creatively. Like, how can I get what I want out of what I have right now?
Right.
As opposed to like, oh, I could just grab this light. Oh, I could just grab that light, and I could get the smoke machine, and I could, you know.
It's worth the investment if you're going to take it seriously, you know.
Yeah.
So that's actually something that Matt, we talked a little bit about this afternoon, right? Where it's like you like to have the space and the freedom to move around, and to some degree, I enjoy the little bit like of the confinement, like having a smaller space and being forced to think creatively about how you're going to solve the problem. And it's all, you know, goes back to what we said earlier, right? Where it's like everybody's brain works a different way and it's just, that's what's fascinating about it. No.
Agreed.
Dom says, I know my space and I still constantly knock stuff over. Same, boo, same.
I've seen it.
Yeah, you have. And the anger that follows. I've gotten better about that though. So
No, you have. Yeah.
Right.
About the anger, yeah.
Bull in a china shop. Bull in a china shop.
Oh man,
housekeeping.
Pretty cool.
Housekeeping. That guy's hysterical. I can't not watch it when it's the reels come by. What was I gonna say? So you know, the Street Fighter thing's cool, but like, when do we get some turtle stuff? You know, asking for friends.
Wow.
Damn, you jumped right to the turtles. Macho didn't even put the heat on yet, and you're talking about turtles.
He doesn't know that you are also a big fan of turtles.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might have to pull out some prototypes.
Let's do it. We're already having.
I'm gonna hit the feels. I'm gonna hit the feels on people who are like really big into the cartoon stuff, because that's my jam. The movies were cool, but I feel like I remember all these other characters and they're never gonna make them in the movie form, right? Because they weren't in the movie. So like, I want all the characters I grew up with. I want the motorcycles. I want the Zeppelins. I want everything, right? Yeah. So a lot of people are already offering certain things that are 3D printed and things like that. But nothing to my standards where, like, if it can function, why not? Meaning like the cheapskate, right? Everybody remembers the cheapskate. Yep. Why not have the wheel spin on that? Maybe you want to have the propeller spin on the blade, like make those things functional. It's only another screw of a little more design work, not a big deal. So I ended up designing a cheapskate a while back. Let me see if I can pull it down.
Well, you grab that. Dom is saying J-Shot looking for a Technodrome. I mean, you know, if the foot fits, get it. See, yeah, dad joke. Yeah.
You know, you have access to that video too.
Which video? I didn't know. I'm over here going, which video? Brian keeps mentioning Heat, so I don't know what you got stored there. Steve says, I feel like we're all in middle school art class, and like I want to just live in this space and create. Yeah, dude. I mean, there's something awesome to be said about that too. You know, like Brian's creating, you know, the space and environment, making people comfortable. Just come on in, play around, leave when you want, or don't. You know.
So actually, you know what? Definitely bring snacks. Don't come snackless.
The only way to get kicked out is to come snackless. Yep. So, Machu, do you have something you want to share? Like, what's
Oh no, I'm just
you have something you want to share with the class?
I'm just trying to stand the dio up. I still have to get my floor, so I don't have a floor yet.
Damn.
Yo, let me sell your cots. Right.
Let me get Mikey out. He's my favorite. All right. So I don't know if you remember, but there was an episode where Donatello, I believe it was episode 19 or 29. I really don't even remember because there were so many. But there was an episode where Donatello had to figure out a way to get these guys up in the air, and he created the anti-gravity boots.
Oh, the anti-gravity boots, yes.
Remember the Uggs? Yep. The OG Uggs? Okay. So they created the OG Uggs. So I thought it would be fun to create them and actually make them functional for these guys. And I created the AGB ones.
Stop it.
The anti-gravity boots. Like that?
It. Shut up and take my money.
See the picture right there? You like that?
Damn.
Bam, but check this out. Ready? Here we go. We're about to unbox these kicks live.
Not the first time we've done that.
Ready? Look at that.
Oh.
And then you pull it out, right? Look at that. It's got the little indent in there for it, right? So it stays in place. And now you're probably wondering, well, how do you get these things on without breaking a foot or, you know, whatever? So
I was wondering that.
Right. So now
get out of my
you're going to take this little ring and you're just going to pop the ring off. And you're going to notice that aesthetically, the design has two lines that run. So I took advantage of those two lines and I made one of them a separation. Jeez, so now you pop this bad boy, you put the collar on, right? You marry him first, right? And then you put that on. And then you pop the side plate back in, slide the ring down and say, I do.
Look at that.
AGB.
Oh, dude.
So that was one example, right? And these are finished. Actually, I have to paint the red dot on the sides and then they'll be fully finished. But I have quite a few of these and I will list them on the site within this week for sure.
Jay Shot's about to say, don't list them. I'll take them.
Don't list them. How many you got? Don't list them. I'm going to need at least 4.
Yeah, right.
Actually, wait. Do they fit Rocksteady and Bebop too?
I don't have Rocksteady and Bebop in here,
Okay.
so I don't know. I'd have to check and get back to you on that one. But one of my favorites growing up, I did the Cheapskate, obviously. That's also on my Instagram. You can actually look the pictures up on there. But one that I did a prototype of that I didn't finish yet, that's one of my favorites, and I'm going to put Mikey on it now so you guys can see how well he fits on it. You guys remember the turtle cycle from back in the day?
Of course.
The one with the trash truck? I mean, the trash can on the side?
I love that you say back in the day, like I didn't just rewatch the season yesterday. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I got it over there too. I haven't rewatched the whole thing yet, but I plan to because my lair is gonna be sick. So
you guys want me to leave? You guys, I can
stop talking. We did your thing. We did your thing. We're moving on now. So, Uncanny Skull stopping by saying, "What up, guys? I have a great show. I'm gonna have to catch it on the replay.
Awesome.
Definitely check the replay on this because there's some crazy stuff happening, and you're gonna want to see this. So,
You ready?
All right,
Ready, Jason?
I'm ready.
Ready?
I don't know.
Got the wet wipes? Ready?
Let me see both your hands, by the way, Jay Shot. Where's your other hand? Okay.
Dude.
So here's the deal.
Oh.
I created a turtle cycle, right? Adjustable handbars, right? Now that you saw that Mikey fits on it really good, I'll show you the details. Oops, sorry. Oh, ASMR. You guys will get a whole treatment. I'm trying to figure out what works, right? Dios, ASMR, like whatever, man. You know. So you can get the full bobber look, right? You can tilt it forward. You can do all that good stuff. Adjust those. The pedals here actually come off, and you can adjust those too. The foot pedals. Now here's the cool feature on it. I did a fatty back tire, right? I did a nice little fatty front tire, but a smaller one because in the cartoon the front one was smaller than the back one. But the cool thing about this is I designed the trash can to go on the side, but what I actually did was I made it ambidextrous, right? I made it universal, meaning if you pull this exhaust off with the little screw right back there, this exhaust will come off and you can mount the whole side cart here. If you want, you can actually reverse everything and mount the sidecar on this side. If you have 2 of them, you can mount both and it would be like the Megazord of TMNT because you'll have one guy here, one on the back of the bike itself, and then the 2 on the side cart. So it'll be like all 4 of them riding down. And that was never part of the series, but that was just a little creative thing that I could add in without modifying much,
Yeah. Did we get a comment about heavy breathing before?
Who's heavy breathing?
Mine, definitely mine. Dude, that's nuts. And Steve had a comment earlier when you were showing off the boots. He's like, I expected them to float on their own, and I gotta be honest with you, I kind of did too. You're gonna be like, here, open this up, and then it's just you're like, I'm gonna catch them.
Hated this. Listen, my friends didn't want to come over and hold the line, and
Where's Hand Rock?
Yeah. Dude, that's insane. I was not expecting that. I mean, I knew that we were going to talk about the Dio, but dude, again, like, and I don't mean to hit this, on the head, but just like, okay, so if I take, I take the ring and I pop that off, like that's how you can hide it in the design like that. I get the attention to detail, man. Like that's nuts.
I didn't want to see seams, right? Because it's already so small that the smallest diversion from what it's supposed to be will end up throwing it off, right? So it just worked out that it had those 2 lines and that was a perfect little dividing line, and then the ring itself to just kind of seal it in place, and it worked out really well. Originally I was just going to do it to just have it be an accessory, right? Something you put on a desk or something. But then when I started measuring stuff and the actual cartoon, it looks so bulky on them, right? So the bulkiness is actually part of the design. I could have made these a little smaller, but they look funny and super bulky, and it worked out perfectly, and they fit. So it's just a plus, Yep. I'll put it to you this way. Whatever NECA hasn't done yet,
you're working with.
I plan to make all of it And my reasoning behind that is this. There are things like the boots, the cycle that they might never make, right? That I want for myself. But then there might be 10 of you that want it too. So here it is. Here's the price, finished, unfinished, whatever the options I offer. But ultimately, hopefully, if NECA does do something, you guys have already seen this. So whatever NECA does better be 10 times better, because if it isn't, then everyone's going to be like, that little guy over there, he showed you up. So if anything, I'm helping the community so that they can produce stuff that we actually want in the quality with the options, because, you know, you guys work hard for your money, just like I do, as everybody else does, right? So you want to make sure, I want to make sure that when you get stuff from me, you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Right. And it's not like trying to prove who's better at making it, right? It's pushing each other to be better, like pushing, wanting everybody to succeed. What is that? High tide floats all boats, everything. Steve says, love that Duarte isn't limiting yourself and looks for small adjustments and improvements too. Love the creativity.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. And
that's the important thing, when people can actually like pick that stuff out without me having to actually like tell them. I don't want to tell you how to think. I want you to think based off of what it is that I'm putting out, and assuming that I'm putting out the right signals, right? Or putting out exactly what it is that I want you to get out of it. And that's ultimately what it is, right? I just, any way that I can make something better, that's what I want to do, not just for myself, but for the end user, the person to feel like, man, this is great for pictures, but I can also play with it. The wheels actually spin, the stuff comes off, like, you can roll this thing down with a figure. There's so many little things you can do that it makes it more fun for you, right? Because it's not just a one trick pony, and I don't like doing the one trick pony stuff.
And it also looks like it's durable, right? Like there's always this worry that
this thing fell off of my desk so many times. I'm like, all right, now I got the handlebar thing though. So this is the prototype. So this one, you can see that you can kind of do this with it, but the finished piece will be all one solid piece, and there will actually be screw on the top to adjust the tension on it like a real bike would have.
Nice. Just want to call Bat Force Grumps is stopping by. Always good to see you here, Grumps. Okay, so let's Toy Chase, and you keep throwing out the heat, and Toy Chase mentioned that he posted some photos. He did a bit of a photo dump from his time there. So let's watch the Masters at work here.
Or the Masters.
It's Ken and Ryu, of course.
Oh, Ken Masters.
Yes. Ken Masters. Look at that. Oh, man. It's just like the combination, right? The combination of the figures that Jada made and this backdrop, and
the posability, man, is everything. Yeah. Everything. Like, we try to look for something to complain about, and the only thing that comes to mind, and it's not even a complaint, it's more just like a wish list, is like, I wish it had that toe curl, right? Just to give us that extra, like, before the kick type of thing, or like trying to lift the leg up. But honestly, even without that, they're really, really, really nice figures.
Look at that. Looks so good. Hey, look at that. And damn, man. I'm going to get roasted for this, but look at that throat. So,
hey, yo. This went left quick.
Yeah, I mean,
that escalated quickly.
No one's surprised. It's just that kind of shot.
Jay's shot. All right. I didn't know it was that kind of shot, but
it's Jay's hot if you're nasty. So all right, you've been doing this for a while. Your creativity knows no bounds. I'm trying to get to some of the questions that I got listed here, because I do think it'll be helpful for anybody who's watching. I was thinking about, like, what's a project that taught you the most that you did, right? Like, sometimes our most challenging projects or shots end up being the ones we learn the most from. What's something you did that you would say taught you the most?
Man, that's a hard question. I feel like I learned a lesson from every dio, right? Because for me personally, time is everything, right? And I can only speak for myself, but after having my first kid, time became a little more of not as much of a very popular commodity, right? Because you just don't have enough hours in a day. So if I'm going to get away from my child, right, and spending time with her, then I'm going to want it to make sense, right? But in order to do so, I can't expect everyone to really find the value in me, or even the value in myself, right? Oh, he might be too expensive, or whatever the reason may be. So I try to find fast ways to make things, right? So today I cut this dio using this machine, but maybe if I did this machine and a little bit of this and this, and cool, I shaved 20 minutes. So like that's 20 minutes I get back for me. But then sometimes trying those things, I wasted some foam, or I almost cut my finger off, or, you know, those type of things. So I feel like every dio teaches me a lesson. Even if it's something as simple as the paint dried differently because it was 70 degrees today versus 55 degrees, right? I didn't know the water temperature made a difference here, and the mixture of that. So like all these little things that I pay attention to and I learn from, but the ones that do work for me, and I recommend it to everybody, is make notes. Like for example, if I'm doing a dio and I'm using certain colors, I'll write the color down, little sample, and just kind of like an encyclopedia, because even though you do the work yourself, after you get to a certain point where you're doing so much work, you're not going to remember all those ingredients. These two colors before this color and 40% of this mixed with 10% of, like, you lost me. So I write it down exactly how I do it. And pretty much from there, I just you know, make it happen.
Just go. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's interesting you talk about time, right? Like this is when we get into the stuff that we all kind of deal with, right? Because, you know, I got 2 kids too, and you know, it's hard, right? It's hard to manage that, because you want to be there with them, but at the same time, like you said, you need your time, right? Whether it's your time to work and build a dio, or it's just your time to scroll on TikTok for hours. You know,
I wish. I wish.
No.
My TikTok's like 3 minutes, and I'm probably either eating or I'm on the toilet or like simultaneously doing something else, you know?
You multitask your life away.
I have to, otherwise my brain won't let me live. It's like, you got 2 arms, you better be doing 2 different things, bro.
Oh.
It's like,
I broke my arms. Your toes work. You talked to, and Matt, please, you know, jump in, man. Like, you know,
I'm just watching YouTube because like I've hung out with the both of you separately, so like watching you two interact is.
What are you
like,
trying to say?
I'm just saying, like, you guys are big turtle heads, and
listen, I grew up on it. Like, but being fair, I love the turtles as much as I love my gargoyles, as much as I love the OG Transformers, as much as I love, you know, my DVCs, you know. I grew up on all that stuff, so all that has it plays a special little string in my heart, you know. It's the nostalgia, and then it's now that I'm old enough and know how to, I can actually give back to the community by creating things that we've all wanted as kids, or just a better version of what's out that we wanted as kids, you know.
Right.
Yep. I mean, that's, you know,
and helping people do dios, man. That's important to me. Like, I'm not a gatekeeper. I love helping people out and giving them, you know, advice and all that good stuff. I keep kicking around the idea of doing like a Patreon or, you know, things like that if people are interested. But, you know, I'm kind of just starting with the whole social media thing. So trying to throw the stuff at the wall and see what sticks, as they say. But ultimately, I want more people to do it because I feel like it's a dying art. You know, everything's gonna be replaced with either, you know, some crappy CNCing or just some ABS molds from companies that really don't care to give you that detail. Like, the thing that bothers me the most, and not mentioning any company names in specific, but when a company puts out a product that they know they could have done way better, and it didn't cost them anything more than just a few extra hours of design time and some applications here and there, because it's the same material usage, it's the same molding cost, it's, you know, all those things. So like, why not give your customer the best that you can give them for that price? Because they're going to keep coming back for more. I don't understand it. It's weird, man. So like, if I can help, that's what I'm here for.
Build the loyalty, not just make the sale. Yeah,
absolutely.
All right. So you talk about not being a gatekeeper, and you know, I think it's great. And I think we need more of that. You know, especially to some degree in this community, there's a little bit of that going on. I mean, not that I think we're experiencing it, but you hear stories. What's a technique that you've either learned or developed as you've gone through the years that you kind of feel like, hey, if everybody learned this, they may save 10 minutes, they may save 5 minutes, or, you know, it'll add that little extra detail to it. What's something, you know, that you can give out for free so that everybody signs up for the Patreon?
This guy right here.
That I'll connect 10% on. Oh,
This guy right here. The Proxon.
Right here.
Buy it. Just spend the $140, $150.
I don't know. I asked it for my birthday.
$200. Spend the $200 on this thing. Like, I still have the original wire on it that it came with years ago. That's how much I don't run through it. And like, it turns cherry red hot. People say that it breaks on them all the time, and it's because you're using it improperly, because maybe you're trying to rush it through really fast. It's not a saw. Even at the highest heat, it's not going to cut super fast, but you know, you really have to get the steady hands. If you're not a steady hands kind of person, use jigs, or you know, there's a lot of companies that make them to help you with cutting materials and things like that. Before anyone even gets into the Proxon, though, like, master your blade technique with a standard ruler. If you can't cut straight with a blade and a ruler, then you probably don't need to be dealing with the Proxon just yet. You want to wax on, wax off with the blade first, and then get this. But this thing here, space saving and time saving 100%. Like, even with my clean razor cuts, there's no way I can cut them as fast and as accurate as this.
Quick disclaimer: we are not promoting waxing on or waxing off with a razor. Just saying.
Yeah. Touche.
Chubsy Wubsy stopping by saying, "Yeah, love always Duarte. I love your work."
Chubsy's awesome, man. He's supported me since day one. We got some stuff in the fire too. He's gonna bring super heat over there. Yeah.
A lot of heat being brought tonight.
Yeah. I actually messaged you some heat, J Shot.
You did? No, do I look at it
or on the IG? On the iGizzle.
All right, talk about yourselves.
Hey, Machu, nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you.
I heard you're a photographer.
That I am from time to time. But this piece right here.
Oh, very nice.
So good. And I just want to say that I just don't want to knock anything over if I can.
Don't knock it over. Oh, there it goes. Number 3. Finished what? Yesterday. Look at that. Right.
Joshua, can you move the camera? Move the window.
Move the window.
There you go.
You haven't moved.
Bam.
So I got number 3.
Number 3 of who knows?
Who knows?
We'll know on the 15th. I'll make that announcement
on the Ides of March.
Yeah. Now my question, and maybe you guys out there can answer too, is I do plan to see the secrets being exposed now. I do plan on making every stage for every fighter that Jada releases. My next question to you guys is, what would you like to see next? Ken, Chun-Li, Fei Long. I know they're dropping, Bison or Dalsim relatively soon, maybe next couple of months or so. So I personally can't wait for Blanca. He's my favorite. Honestly, it's not one of my favorite not one of my dios that I look forward to the most, because to me, it's kind of like, whatever. I'm thinking of ways to make it more creative for myself to get me inspired to want to do it, even though he's my favorite character. But there's a few others that I look forward to doing. I'm curious to hear what everybody else thinks.
I mean, for me, it's Ken's my dude.
Ken's your dude, huh? Ken's your guy? Okay. Lucky you, he's already out. I got to wait for Blanca.
I know I might have to agree with Donald. Guile. How would you do the people?
So I was actually talking to Machu about it, because actually this whole Ryu thing, it kind of started where I was talking to Articulated Ninja on the phone one day, and I brought the idea up to him, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, if you make one, I'll take one." I'm like, I didn't even figure it out yet. He's like, "That's cool. If you make one, I'll take one." And I'm like, word. And then I was like, Machu's a fan. Like, hey, Machu, what do you think if I'll buy? How much? I'll buy one right now. And I'm like, all right, that's 2 people. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I sent him pictures the next day. He's my witness. The next day, I was like, what do you think of this? And he's
like, what? How much time has passed?
What year is it? Yeah. Dude, I'm pretty sure that you could get some pre-orders going here, and I don't think people would complain. I'm here. So it looks like we got Guile, we got Ken, Guile. Man Beast Boy says, "Give me the car."
So Man Beast Boy, I actually had the idea of making the car, and I was talking to Macho and Henrock about this, where it's not like full true 12 scale, because that thing would be huge, right? But big enough to fit, to make sense with the look of the Dio, but giving you guys that Lexus, but also making the fenders, the bumper, and the hood, and possibly the top or the windshield area removable and swappable with like parts that are already broken, so you can actually pick how damaged the car gets. You know, I just have to find some time to sit there and sculpt it and do all that good stuff, and then figure out the magnetics and all that. So it might take a little bit, but that's one of those things that's an accessory that can go on any of the boards, essentially. You know, so when it comes, it comes.
How about if you buy all the stages, the bonus is the car.
True, and then that's a great idea. I like how he thinks. You're hired.
Thank you.
I was going to say, all right, that's fair. No, that's fair. I'll take 4 pairs of boots as my party gift. I'm calling it now. If you do that, when you do the the pieces and the broken pieces, the piece, Machu, that's your next big stop motion.
Well, now I got the rig too.
So I kind of twisted his arm. I'm like, dude, you got to do it. Yep. Come to the studio. I'll force you. I'll pose the figures while you're taking the shots or whatever. Like, we'll make it happen. I got the Dios, the accessories. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Dom says Vega.
Vega.
I think this is the winner, because you gotta listen to the Migos. Guile Sage, one of his favorites. So
yeah, I already kind of figured out the whole jet thing, and the figures itself, I would probably treat them the same way, right? Where I would most likely sculpt them as actual standing figures, but then I would kind of give them that little smush effect. So from the side, it looks like they were pancaked, but from the front, it still gives you that 3DS kind of look. And I would, chances are, I would probably mount them for photographers in a way that you could just move the people by themselves and maybe the plane by itself. You know,
track or something.
Yeah, if you want to put on a track, or even if you just want to separate the distance, or magnets, right? Like, so my idea is to keep all of these Dios between the 250 to 350-esque price, because obviously some are going to be way more involved, like Chun-Li, right?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that it's complicated, but there's so many different paint variables, right? Figures, people inside the stands, the stuff for sale in the stands. It's not as plain, right? So that one's going to be a little more, but then you have other ones that are a little more simple. So I want to keep it within that price range, but I do plan on doing all of them. It's just a matter of who's next.
It all balances out. Tenyo does say Chun-Li.
Of course, we're trying to figure that out.
Right? Could be cool.
Oh yeah, because the elephants, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is the one? I always get it confused. Which is the one that lays down, that has the Buddha laying down big as hell on the back? Sagat? No.
Sagat.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's Sagat. Yeah.
Yeah. That
Greg, formerly the Brute Scale, says car bath. Every Dio comes with a part.
Yo, that's actually not a bad idea, Greg. I actually like that, because I could design it and then I could just send the first part out to the people that bought this one, like, after the fact. Yeah. It's a great idea, bro. Shoot, now I'm gonna have to get back on my design grind.
There you go.
Dials paused for a day.
What is this? What Matt is asking? What is this bonus?
What is my bonus?
Or what is your bonus for being a completionist?
Yeah, a completionist.
Asian Mary says, "What do you guys think of the Ramen Racer? Did you guys get? Was the Ramen Racer at Zolo? Did you guys get it in hand?"
I don't have it in hand, but I ordered one.
Yeah, I ordered one too. I ordered a black one. I was gonna get the orange one too, but funds were a little tight then, and I got the black one because there's way more options with that. I would end up turning around and painting the orange one black anyways, right? So black one, you got Dom, Fast and Furious, you got Ghost Rider, you got so many different things, and I plan on making stuff to go with that car as well. So, and
you also do dabble in the RC department as well.
A little bit.
I mean,
a lot of it.
It is pretty late to bring that up in this show now, but that means we have to bring it back on.
We got to bring it back. Before we move into the the goodbyes here. Steve does say, serious question: how do you protect your lungs, like cutting the foam and or painting? So,
good question, Steve. Here's a good answer. Right here, 3M respirator. Don't be a tough guy. and try to do it without it, you'll kick yourself in the ass literally the next day or the same day. I did that like a dummy, not because I was too cool for a mask, but because I couldn't find one. I need to get work done. And it started with me going, like this. And then like as you're working, it just like falls down and you're like, who cares? Whatever. I'll put a fan. But then the fan like blows it into the wall back to you. And you're like, why am I showered with pink dandruff? And yeah, respirator, dude. Respirator. And then this thing right here. It's called the BB Nano. I love this.
You told me on that.
Dude, this thing. Like, this thing's got power. So it's like my compressor without the compressor, right? And if I get stuff on me or in my beard, I blow it off. And it's like having the compressor without the noise. Super cool USB-C. You can actually pull this attachment off. And now it's just open air. You can pull the filter off in the back for the motor. Like, so many options. People use this for keyboard cleaning. Photographers. I know Sir Dork used this for his Superman thing with the water. Like, this was the same thing he used, and I love this thing.
Nice. It looked like you were giving yourself a little bit of a shave. So
cleaning the beard. Cleaning the beard.
Clean the beard. All right. So you sent me this video. I am gonna attempt to
drop it like it's hot.
Share that. Enjoy the what is it? 1 minute and 21 seconds of beauty here. Let's see. Should I just make it full screen? Just
do it.
Put us on it. I don't know.
Hide us away.
Boop. Okay, we're still here. Don't worry. All right, here we go. Let's hopefully this works. You guys hear it?
Round one.
I like it. I like it.
That was beautiful.
I like, my pictures suck. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Not listen. In my defense, I had a talented man do that for me because my pictures suck, and now they don't.
You want to say who did that for you?
No, I don't want to say his name, bro.
Why not?
I don't know. Nah, man. Listen, I had my good friend Articulated Ninja.
So you guys having a moment? Okay.
He killed it.
It's awesome.
I like his style, man. I watch his stuff. I tune in all the time. I'm a member of his channel. Like, I had liked the content. I reached out to him. I was like, hey, man, you want to do something for me? We took care of it, and here it is. Awesome video. Shout out.
Yeah, I also like that he used the different lines too.
Yeah,
he used SHF and he used the Storm.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because I thought about something like that, right? Or even just other figures in general, just to kind of show it off. And it was one of those things where, as an artist, right, I don't like to be micromanaged, right? I feel as though that if you reach out to me, it's because you like my style. Of course, I want your input, right? Colors, do you want warm? Do you want cold? Specific questions that I'm gonna ask you because I need those answers. But aside from that, I don't like to be micromanaged where I feel like you're telling me how to do my job, right? So I hate doing that to people. And because I already liked his style and liked his videos, his approach and the way he does his stuff, I was just like, dude, I want a promo video, get you the footage, get you pictures. He ordered a dio. So he totally was like, yeah, I can make some space for you. And dude, he killed it, bro. Like, he totally killed it. Like, I just said, listen, I want a promo video. he asked me stuff like, how long do I want it to be? Dude, whatever you think is going to work, bro. And he sent me that. And like, literally, normally I'm always nitpicky. Like, can you change this? And I had a smile ear to ear, like the grin. I was just like, man, this is so cool, bro. I feel like I'm watching like a KB Toys commercial or something, you know? So
it was way better than a KB Toys commercial. Steve Morrow wants to know where he inserts his quarters.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because I'm actually finishing up designing and I was inspired by Jada. You guys are killing me here, man. I was inspired by Jada's box, right? It's got these guys. So I actually designed them to print them out, the joysticks, but I actually did it, again, dual purpose. So it actually holds my business cards and, all that good stuff. And I'll have it in front of the Dios.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
That'll be perfect for conventions.
Thinks of everything.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
Trying.
Well, that's what happens when you don't sleep. You got time to think of everything. Man Beast Boy says nominated best short at this year's Oscars. Probably won't win. It's too political. Collector 425, we outside. What's up, fellas? Get inside, dude. Get inside. When it's cold and you can't see the Dio. So get your ass inside and catch up on the replay. Dio trailer is legit. Jada for the win. Yeah, and man. Toy Chase is yelling sushi, which is making me hungry. There is this secret sushi place that you guys have been going to. It's apparently
you gotta.
How late is it open? If
we gotta get there before 10:30 on the weekends before they kill all you can eat. But if I'm, you know what though, if you go with me though, I think they'll allow it. They'll allow it. They're like, this guy comes here like every other day with new people. I'm trying to tell everybody the spot, but we gotta go together, man. I gotta break you in.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm still not calling you daddy after you break me in. That was too easy. It was just like floating right there. All right, man. I highlighted this because there's no other way to do this, but do our part 2. Hell yeah, it's gonna have to happen because there's still so much more we want to talk about. We want to see.
Let's do it.
But we try to be respectful of our time and Henrik says he's at the sushi spot now. He's been there since Thursday. He hasn't left.
Why didn't you invite me, bro? Why'd you do it when you knew we were gonna go live? Messed up.
All right, let's go get him out. We'll drag him out by his ears. In case anybody's living under a rock and not following you, where can they find you?
Instagram, Duarte_Studios, right there.
Yeah,
or Duarte-Studios.com. which is also on the video, and I think you guys put the link up as well. We got the site up. It's relatively new, so bear with me. I'll be updating. I want to make a gallery section where I have like a museum, right, where it has all of the work that I've done, but I want to give you guys like behind the scenes look of like step 1, step 3, step 7, and so forth until it's done. Maybe even put down like a price tag so people get an idea, right? Because I feel like in the Dio community, the customization community, right? I feel like there's such a disparage between like, what something's worth versus the value of something versus what you think something's worth, et cetera, and how you come up with these values and, what do you compare it to? Is there something to compare it to? Like that's a whole other, conversation, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so Duarte, it's do-art, or we got the link up there, so don't listen to me. Duarte Studios. Machu, we don't know if we're going to Wayne this weekend, but
I'm good to go.
Is that Saturday or Sunday?
It is this weekend?
Yeah.
I think it is.
I guess I got planned Saturday then. I might not be doing Dios on Saturday. Well, actually I'm lying because I'll get home and just do them at night. So yeah.
I might have a little one with me.
That's cool.
But
more spending for you.
It's this was awesome, dude. Like this is seriously one of the best conversations we've had on this show, and I can't wait to talk more.
Let's do it.
So, but yeah, don't forget, Between Two Sentinels gets you $25 off, and Just Send It gets you free shipping. This is one of the few times we actually have a promo code, and it's real. So, take advantage of it. It works. Pick up this die. I think I'm going to go buy the night one right now. Awesome. Everybody get off the screen so I can go make a purchase. I don't want to share my screen and all of a sudden now I bought 50 of them. Matu, cue that outro. Thanks everybody. Bye. Bye.
Peace.
Cue the outro. Bye.